It is crisp and cold here this morning and very invigorating. So I decided to do this outside. I have a small window this morning, and the last couple days it has been just such a damp, bone-chilling cold. So the eagle's been flying around. I've got about progress and forward motion. I have two podcasts coming live. Um, One on the Breathe to Healing regarding reflection, and one here on Mountain Woman Radio on harmony. And I think the combination of those two things create a really good forward motion and create progress in our lives. So, the first thing I want to remind you guys to do is really take time to be reflective in your life and reflect on how far you've come. Regardless if that is your homesteading journey. Good morning, Miss Shelley. No worries, enjoy work and be safe in your travels. But reflect, whether it's in your homesteading journey, whether you're trying to live off grid, whether you are on a healing journey, whether it's just life itself, life with your children, whatever it looks like for you. I'm sure you've come a long way, but we always discredit that, and maybe not so much discredit it, we just neglect to look at that aspect of our life. You know, we keep trudging forward, keep moving with the masses, and keep, trying to muddle through life that brings us ups and downs. And we never really challenge ourselves to look at how far we've come. So please reflect on that today and look how far that you have come. And be proud of yourself for your accomplishments. Be proud of yourself for where you are. And be proud of yourself for where you desire to head. You know, so often we just don't take a look at and a glimpse at that picture. We tend to stay hard on ourselves, maybe because things that we are working on aren't going right or whatever, but really pay attention and reflect how far you've come. I know that all of you have come a long way in a lot of ways. So, and I myself, I'm really excited about the progression in my life. And I'm also excited because I have goals and dreams and plans and desires. So, that falls into creating the harmony to create those things in our life. And what does harmony look like? Well, if you are doing things in your life and you are constantly feeling discouraged, rattled, overwhelmed, stressed, step back, take a look. Good morning, Miss Rhonda. And step back and take a look at everything you're doing. Typically, when you feel that way, your to-do list is way too long, or your responsibilities are way too many. And a lot of that is because we say yes to things we shouldn't. We are viewing ourselves as supermen and superwomen and have a whole lot on our to-do list that is just not humanly possible. So evaluate all those things. Good morning, Miss Mill. And really pay attention to what you've got on your to-do list, what you are trying to accomplish in a day, and try stepping it back, because harmony comes from finding joy and peace and enjoyment in what we are doing. So cold air is making my eyes tear up. So if you are not finding enjoyment in what you are doing, you are not in a place of harmony. And we need harmony to be successful. Harmony can also look like on your homestead, your family coming together and you all working on things together and creating a harmony. And the way that harmony is formed is by incorporating, good morning, Miss Diana, afternoon, yes. um, is creating and focusing on each other's superpowers. So, my mountain man has, Miss Tammy R is on here. Awesome. I didn't know that. I'm trying to catch everybody as they're flipping through. Plus, I don't always see them all. But welcome, everybody. I'm glad you're here. And progression, forward motion, that's what we're talking about. And finding harmony in that and reflecting on where we are in our walk, how far we've come. That's the first step in this. Some of you popped in late, but this is going to be a short one, so you can jump back and watch the beginning. But finding that harmony, finding that balance. Balance is a hard word. Because I think in our world, we strive so hard for everything to be perfectly aligned. And when we hear balance, I think that's what we think of. And it's a lot harder to attain when we aren't really in harmony. And I think that word just kept coming to me this weekend and this week, is that beautiful place of harmony. When you think of harmony, you think of good things. You think of a good song. You think of just everything flowing really, really well. Rhonda says maybe balance should be her word for the year. Yes, finding that place. But harmony comes from paying attention, paying really good attention to our flow, our ebb and our flow on our homestead, in our home, in our life, and what we are trying to accomplish. When you are on the homestead and you have multiple people playing a role in things, you can have friction or you can have harmony. And we've always tended to find a really good place of harmony, because where the mountain man's levels of expertise stop, mine pick up. And we each have things to bring to the table to help us accomplish the many things that we do here, the mountain boy included. Maybe you will find your word today in the chat. I always strive for a word for the year. My word this year is obedient, being obedient to my calling. Balance isn't necessarily static, meaning it looks the same all the time. It will vary all the time. Exactly. And so will the harmony. So, the thing is finding a place that feels good to you. If you are overwhelmed and just feeling stressed all the time in what you are trying to accomplish, you are, does anyone know how to destroy fungus gnats? That I do not, but maybe someone does in the comments. And if we don't get an answer today, we'll find one. Good question. Yes, simplicity would be a good one too. Very, very much so. And it all kind of goes together. It's really paying attention to your surroundings, reflecting on where you've come, knowing what you want in life, and finding that balance, harmony, simplicity, all of that coming together. So, if you are living in a stressed place, step back, reevaluate, look at what you are trying to accomplish, look at what you're doing, look at maybe that you are trying to put way more in a day than is humanly possible. Learning how to put margin into our days. So often we just keep going at the grind. Simplicity would certainly make finding balance easier. It does. It really does. I like the balance in our lives. If I can destroy the gnats, I will have harmony. Gnats can, if they're anything like fruit flies, create a little container that you can trap them into the water with maybe some sugar water. See if that does the trick. My nose is running. Sorry for the sniffling. I just showed Harvey that you still have snow, Tammy. He said that's the place for it. Yeah, we've got a lot of snow. Believe it or not, we also have a lot of mud. I'm trying to figure out how to turn this around. There we go. Yeah, lots of snow still. We got a new layer of snow the other day, so that was nice because there was a lot of brown. We are in a really weird season this year. We had a lot of snow early, then a lot of rain, and it just got really muddy. But evaluate what you want to accomplish this year. Create new habits. Real easy way to create a new habit. Get a piece of paper, a sticky note. You know, I don't use those, but if you have a book, but this is a quick thing. Stick a sticky note on your refrigerator. Put 30 circles on it, and every day that you accomplish that new habit, color in a circle and keep going. It's that simple. It really is. It's the devotion to it. It's in your face, and the determination you have to want to make positive change in your life, and that is included in creating and keeping progressive forward motion. If you find yourself stuck, stagnant, overwhelmed, that's not a place to be. That will keep you stuck and stagnant. You need to have things that are keeping you moving forward. So, trick to avoiding overwhelm, small tasks to get the job done. Um, Break apart your big task that you might be trying to accomplish into smaller pieces. Yes, it is another good word. Determination, perseverance. This is the live of positive words. um, Also, before I forget to mention this, I will be doing lives, and it will change in the header going across our YouTube page. Lives will be the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday of every month because I am avoiding overwhelm. Got the membership live. Our membership is live. For those of you that are following us, you can join our membership by going to tryyourwilderness.com/membership. We will be gathering there, adding new courses every month, and focusing on forward motion, focusing on helping people to be prepared for whatever comes their way this year, walking hand in hand and helping people to learn the skills they need to learn. So you can go there. And because that is live and out there, because I am podcasting on two different platforms, and because I am writing and doing a lot of other things this year, I am being consciously aware that the machines were taking over and overwhelming me. Diana's decluttering encouragement has helped me get out of overwhelm. Awesome. Yes, Miss Diana is in our membership area, and it's sometimes the simple things that we need to remember, like reflecting on how far we've come and finding harmony in our day to day. These are simple little things that we just need to remind ourselves of because we get caught up in the hustle and the bustle and the determination to move forward, but doing too much at one time. So step back. It's okay. I forgot to bring them out, but video coming soon, and this will be in the membership. I have one leather moccasin done. Ha ha ha. If you guys remember watching Sesame Street, that's just one of our jokes here. One, ha ha ha. The count did that really good. Anyway, I have one moccasin done, and I am so excited, and I have the other one all ready to be stitched. So every night I am stitching it because now that I've got one done, I really want the other one done so I can wear them because they will be my everyday shoes. And I am super excited. They are a tight-fitting mock across the foot, and then they wrap up the leg and have rawhide wraps going around them. So it will keep the snow and debris out of my boots, and I can run around like Pocahontas now. So goals, focusing, working on tasks, slowly attacking them. The reflection in the window looks like there is a cowboy standing there. Oh, that's really funny. My window is very dirty. It needs cleaned. That's probably just dirt. And unfortunately, it's not the cowboy. He's back there somewhere. He was in the side of the video for a little bit there. He's doing some of the morning chores. So I just want you guys to start the year off on a good foot. We don't need a new year to do this, but sometimes we get so swept up within our year that it takes starting a new year to remember and the reminders of these things. And we start reminding ourselves of these things in the new year. Remind yourself these things every day, that you have the ability to create new habits, healthy habits that will allow you to progress in your life. Um, Being able to pay attention. Oh, maybe that's probably, oh, it is. It's the bird feeder here kind of, I can see that having, it probably looks like a cowboy hat. That's funny. Oh, I see it now in the reflection. It is, it's my bird feeder. That's funny. But pay attention. Pay attention to your levels of stress, your overwhelm, and what you're doing. Also, pay attention to the things that you are doing. Thanks for the reminder, Diana. My keyboard has it covered, so I forget to do it. I missed what Diana offered, but I don't have my other machine out here because I knew this was going to be short and sweet, but I can check on the chat then. But I'm glad you guys are intermingling. But pay attention also to how you spend your time. You know, a lot of us that are home all day long sometimes get caught up in the things that we think are the things we should be doing, that we deem important. But in the big scheme of things, they're really not as important as we make them. This is how I go about my day. I am working on a planner. I was hoping to have one out this year, but I've refined it once again. So I think I've really got my planner to the place of a really perfect setup for me. Now, as to whether that will suit you, I don't know. But the thing is, you guys have to find what works for you. And in my planner, I have a segment where I have events that are scheduled by the time, and I have them there. And then I have the 3 main things that I need to get accomplished in that day. And those are the 3 things that I tackle before I look at anything else on the list. There may be other things that are necessary for the day, but those 3 have to get done. And I've been really focusing on that and making my top 3. And oftentimes they're the things that we least want to do. They're the things that might be nagging at us that we have to get accomplished. But once you get those out of the way, and surprisingly enough, when you devote untethered time, like uninterrupted time. So this one will be a planner different from the journal. Yes, this will actually be I am working on the new Relentlessly Faithful journal was supposed to go live in November, and I shelved it because we were building a cabin for the mountain boy, and that was more important. So that is coming also. But the planner is actually a day planner it'll be a 12-month day at a glance planner that will help you to reach your goals and keep track of your time. And, you know, when we have uninterrupted time, many of you might have been like messaging me over the last couple weeks, and you notice that I'm in work mode, or I'm in busy mode, or I'm in sleep mode. I've really fine-tuned my phone down to like timing my day of when I want to work and be uninterrupted and be focused. Unfortunately, not spiral bound, at least not at this point. It'll be a print book. But maybe spiral bound in the future. It's a little more costly and an outlay on my part to have to produce a spiral bound unless I take orders ahead of time. It is not blank. It could easily be produced as a blank, that it could be done that way. So maybe, because I have purchased some like that. But I was gearing it up to each year producing it with the actual dates on it. So maybe possibly I will do 2, because it'd be very simple and easy for me to produce that. Spiral bound is in the thoughts both for the journal and the planner. Just something that I need to find a publisher for. So working on that, because that has been mentioned before. So thank you for the feedback. Yes, because then it can be laid flat. So I do like my books bound because I throw mine in my bags. Spiral bound for the Mountain Woman would probably be annihilated to some degree. But anyway, that is good feedback, and I have gotten that a lot. My books are in one of the Christian bookstores in the biggest city closest to us, and that was one of their requests too. A lot of people like to have it handy on their desk and keep it flat. Mine is just constantly traveling with me. But if you set time aside, our phones, we have these phones with us all the time, and our faces are glued to them all the time, but we don't use them to their fullest extent. To be able to set timers for things, to be able to set focus modes, when I'm in focus mode, all my notifications are shut off because I have to get my work done. I wear many hats. I'm not only homesteading and educating on homesteading and off-grid living, I am a web designer and programmer by trade. Do you use block scheduling? That's something I want to try. Sort of. Not necessarily the way other people use it. If the inner margins, okay, I'll have to read that. Oh wait, I can actually, if the inner margins are large enough, it can be taken in to be spiral bound like the Office Max. I'm sure the spines that are designed to open flat are more expensive to publish as well. Yeah, they are. They are. But I will look into that. I'll definitely look into that. And it would be a matter of having to print it through somebody like that too, because like my journal is what, 300 some, well, it's over 300, it's 417 pages, I remember. So it's a lot of pages. The planner won't be that thick, but use your phone to its best abilities. And yes, back to the block scheduling. Sort of, I do that. I have an ideal work week set up for myself, and that varies week to week because, like with this live, it's going to be the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday of every month. And I have Zooms, membership Zooms that we do, and I have community Zooms that I do. So I have to block all that time out, and then I have segments of time. I work best in the morning. But I do follow. I used to have all my Bible study workbooks and to be spiral bound. It was very affordable. Yeah. And I used to always do spiral bound or in a 3-ring binder type thing. But I've just progressed to have it because I'm so mobile now and work on a stump in the middle of my yard on occasion. It's nice to have books that are bound well and that I can easily wipe off if they get dirty or whatever. So just kind of lean that direction. So we progress as we go and find things that work best for us. And like I said, my calendar may not be what works for everybody else. I have tried 4 different calendars over the last couple years that highly productive and very successful people use, and it did not work with my brain. It just did not work well for me at all. I've found what I need to be successful and what works for me. And blocking time is very important. I also go by the weather, depending on the season. If we are trying to accomplish, say, milling lumber or harvesting trees. Good morning, Miss Laura. Awesome. Rhonda says it'll be interesting to see what you come up with. Yeah, it's what works for this P and the way I live, I guess. But if we're trying to mill lumber and we're trying to work by daylight, or we have, weather gaps, I also flip my schedule based on the weather. So instead of working in the morning like I normally do, like this time of year, it's pretty easy. I'm kind of steadfast in the house with the weather being miserable a lot of the time. But when the sun's out, we have tasks, we have things to get done. So maybe my 3 things of importance will get done after lunch, after we've accomplished something, harvesting a tree or whatever. So Diana says, I was looking at my calendar and see that the second Tuesday of the month is also the membership Zoom. But it's at 11. I had to think about that. I'm like, did she catch me? Nope, it's at 11, because I don't want these going over an hour, because my time is valuable and I need to stay focused. So I'm going to encourage you guys, and I'm going to share, and I'm going to do it twice a month, and I just have to watch my time. So, and that also, then I go right into the membership Zoom on the Tuesday. So I'm trying to coordinate everything. And by having a working calendar and one that you can lay in front of you and see how everything is falling into place, really helps. So if you're like shooting from the hip and just calling off dates and trying to figure these things out and trying to come up with a schedule, but you're not sitting down and like putting it in front of you, you'll run into those problems. On the phone, it's very easy for things to collide. So having a good plan to really organizing your month. If you guys have businesses beyond your homestead and things like that, another thing that I like to do is every night at the end of my day, or every afternoon at the end of my day, I recap what I've accomplished and I push forward what I didn't that needs to still get done. So that's done by little icons that I use next to the things, and I refer back to those, and then check them off the next day. I also Sundays evaluate what's coming, or possibly a Saturday if I don't want to do anything like that on a Sunday. At the end of my day Saturday, I will evaluate what's coming the week ahead and map things out and make sure nothing's colliding, make sure I have everything prepared, and that way I can take my Sundays and I can rest without feeling panicked. I don't want to feel panicked in anything I do. I want to feel relaxed. I want to feel enjoyment. I want to feel harmony. I want to continue to be perseverant in my goals, but not at the jeopardy of and jeopardizing my health or my well-being or that of my families, because sometimes when we are setting up those calendars and we're honey-do listing, you know, we're overwhelming them too. So it really adds harmony when you can have something in front of you that lays it all out, that makes it clear, and that helps you to figure things out. That's why I say having a list for your goals, plans, dreams, and desires is really important, because you can map out everything you need to do to accomplish that one task, and then line them up in the order you need to. And if something on that list goes awry, that you can't do this particular task this week, maybe you can do another one. You know, it varies. You know, with the tasks on our homestead, we constantly have to rearrange and shuffle things. You know, like with the Mountain Boys cabin, we got the flooring, but we needed to wait to dry things out because propane heat, as you guys noticed with our cabin, when we had our rainforest, propane creates moisture, and we had to have heat in there of one form before we could get the wood stove in there. Goes in. So it's just a constant progression of tasks. And we've always talked about this before on here, is learning to roll with the punches and being able to roll and keep going and redirecting if you have to. But in your normal day-to-day, if you can find harmony and bliss, there's another one, bliss. It feels good when you're accomplishing things. It feels good when you're accomplishing things and feeling good about it and not feeling pressured and overwhelmed. That is not a place where anything constructive comes from. Because over time, that overwhelm and that stress is going to cause sickness. And many of us know that. So I want to see you guys finding this harmony in everything you're doing. But I also want to see you guys being proud of where you've come from. Because when you can see the path you've come on and see how far you've come, see how much you've accomplished, because sometimes, like I said in the beginning, we neglect to do that. It can be really empowering to your journey, and it can be the catalyst you need to have that nice reminder that you're on the right path and that you're doing good things. So I'm going to read a Bible verse to you today that stood out to me. Oh, and I want to remind you guys, if you haven't been following the real story of autoimmune disease, man, that has been such a good summit. I have a lot of so many of us that were on this summit are doing what we do today because of our journey, because we couldn't find answers from the medical system. So we were led to deep research and deep diving to be led to what we are doing today. And it's just so fascinating how so many of us have learned the same things, and just we're taken on that path. That's a divine path. Let God guide you, because it's just so amazing. That's the key thing to the harmony in your life is not always taking the wheel, letting God take the wheel, letting God guide your days. You guys have heard me say that a lot, that my day is based on where God is taking me. It's important to have a plan, but don't be so rigid in your plan that you're not willing to shift it when God gives you something new. That's why I have all kinds of little icons that I use next to my tasks to move them around and redirect. And sometimes things get totally crossed off because God said, nope, that's really not necessary, and that's not a direction I want to take you. I've totally crossed things off. Things that I've had totally planned out, nixed. So don't be so rigid in your planning and in your plans and your goals and your dreams to not see God's guidance and direction in it. So I say all that to say, don't forget to watch the Real Story Summit. Today is my day, and my presentation is out there. But man, I shared the floor with such amazing, amazing people. Yes, autoimmune, there's a very special speaker I don't want to miss today. Right, thank you. You can sign up for this. It's free, totally free. You can go to breathetohealing.com/real story and check it out. Super excited about that. Just I gleaned so much information from each of the people. It's nice to take nuggets, take away nuggets and apply them to your life. So this just stood out to me today. Exodus 14:13 and 14. Fear not, stand still, firm, confident, undismayed, and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will work for you today. The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace and remain at rest. So remember, life is not meant to be this overwhelming race. It's meant to be a slow and steady pace. And we're supposed to learn things along the way. And we're supposed to do things for ourselves, be proactive, be active, be moving forward, have dreams and desires, follow God's dreams and desires. God will answer our prayers. He will bless us with some amazing opportunities. He will answer the prayers for the dreams and desires we want. Some will align with his goals for us, others will not, and they'll drift away. But I promise you this: if something you desire to do doesn't happen and doors open for something else, I promise you it will be bigger and better than what you had planned for yourself. So I've never been disappointed. I've never been disappointed in following God's lead. So part of everything I'm saying today is seeking him first. One thing I heard yesterday: this isn't a race, but a marathon. Exactly. So we need to pace ourselves. We need to pace ourselves. We need to enjoy the process. We need to cross the finish line with our arms in the air and a smile on our face, and his bright light shining on us, right? Because that's the marathon we're running. If you're following in my footsteps, is we are chasing him, and in chasing him, it's not meant to be a gruesome, terrible journey. There's blessings through the good, the bad, and the ugly, always. He's here, but he didn't hear that. He's inside making eggs. I can hear his spatula on the frying pan. And I need to go warm my cup because my hands are cold. So I'm going to say a prayer and send you guys off to your day and to reflect and to find harmony. So, Papa, I just thank you for this day. I thank you that you are in it, that you are present, that you are loving on each of us, that you are providing and opening doors and have a special calling on each of our lives. Help us to see how far we've come. Help us to see the journey we're on. Help us to see the path you are taking us. Help us to find the harmony and the peace and the strength, courage, and the perseverance to run this marathon. Help us to keep our eyes on you and to keep our focus upward and to keep moving forward and not to be stagnant, not to be um, deficient. I think that we focus on you, we have all that we need. And just thank you for what you're doing in each of our lives. Thank you for answering prayers. Touch all those that need special prayers today. Um, be with Caitlin and help her. And be with Papa T. And be with John and Laura, Diana, Mill, all those out there that are in need of your love, your mercy, your grace, your healing hand. And just thank you. Be with Ginny as well. And thank you for what you're going to do in each of our lives. Thank you for the armor you provide for us every day and the courage that you give us to take on each new day. And just help us to see the blessings and the harmony so that when things do come our way that turn things upside down, that we can keep our footing and keep moving forward. Thank you for loving us, and we ask all of this in your holy and precious name of Jesus. Amen. Okay. Thank you all for joining me today. I will see you in 2 weeks. And get in our community. Our community is free. TrayerWilderness.com/community if you are looking to fellowship and be surrounded by like-minded people. And thank you, Miss Mill says, to have a blessed day to everyone and be safe. And join our membership if you're wanting to learn new skills, to be prepared in whatever may come your way, and just to have people walking alongside of you as you are embarking on a journey of knowledge and growth in a homesteading, off-grid, preparedness, traditional skill environment. So I love you all. And to join the membership, you can go to TrayerWilderness.com/membership. Love you all. Have a good day and a good week. Find your harmony. Find your place. It's not meant to be grueling. Enjoy your days. Thank you, Miss Mill. She says, hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that. All right, everybody. God bless.